This documentary is brought to you by Barefoot Doyen. Visit us at www.barefootdoyen.com and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more. The links are below. Today we're going to be talking about underground artist Corbin. Initially known as Spooky Black, vocalist Corbin has gained a dedicated cult following for his funeral brand of lo-fi R&B and hip-hop. Growing up in St. Paul, Minnesota, his music and aesthetic was heavily influenced by the dark, cold winters and somber forests. Corbin made his artistic debut in 2013 with his first extended play, Forest. Unlike his later material, the release featured Corbin rapping on every track and was an exercise in horror-tinged hip-hop. This was followed by an early 2014 release of his second EP, Black Silk, which marked his switch to softer R&B. The endearing amateur video for the track, Without You, became a viral sensation, and several websites, including World Star Hip Hop, named it one of the best songs of the year. Given his unusual name and appearance, many interpret his persona as an ironic prank that had gotten out of hand. However, the one thing Corbin seems to take seriously is his music. With a sound that fits somewhere between Daydream Mossy and Kurt Cobain, he soon fostered a cult-like audience. Although Corbin's rise to popularity was rapid, he was not quick to capitalize on his fame. When asked about his lack of engagement, he said, "I just had nothing to say." Despite his viral fame, Corbin remained reclusive and proceeded to turn down countless interviews and label meetings, choosing instead to share his newfound attention with his closest Minnesotan collaborators. Alongside his producers Simon, Bobby Raps, and Alan Kingdom, Corbin began work on a different kind of debut. Together, as the Standard, the four produced an album remarkably quickly before things snowballed even further when they set out on a sold-out tour near the end of 2014, outdoing themselves by getting DJ Khaled to introduce their NYC show.
I can do better than these symphonies, floating through these symphonies, holding to the golden trees, cloak me from the frozen breeze, only hope for her to notice me, only knows woven in the seams, only knows woven in the seams, only knows woven in the seams, only knows woven in the seams.
The group even ended up on Grammy-winning, Toronto-based producer Doc McKinney's radar. He flew out to see the group for himself. They would end up collaborating and together put out the song, Doors. When he was only 17, one of the biggest opportunities of his life came around. He was offered a deal with Beggars Group, the label responsible for bringing artists like Sampha and the XX to the mainstream. "We were going to put out a record with them, but we just didn't really click," says Corbin. "They're cool, but it just took a little bit too long. That was the first label I was on, but it was just a lot of pressure on making music." Corbin also ran into some trouble with his original name, Spooky Black, which some believe to be referencing a racial slur, which eventually led to his name being changed back to Corbin.
Gonna play this?
The name of this pale-skinned white rapper in a do-rag is
Stop the music.
Spooky Black.
That's racist.
What?
Yes.
Spooky Black.
Besides Corbin's controversial persona, his introverted nature and unpredictability keeps his fans by his side, waiting to hear and see more. Although he would occasionally sneak tracks onto SoundCloud, only to scrub them from existence, Corbin hadn't released anything officially for 2 years prior to his album Mourn. Stating, "For me, staying off social media and just kinda isolating myself and figuring things out helps me grow as a person. The internet is just a toxic place for me. It makes me doubt myself. As long as I'm not putting out music, people don't need to be hearing shit from me. It's hard to know when your input is wanted." By the time it came to making Mourn, Corbin found his mind occupied by apocalyptic thoughts. "We were kind of thinking apocalyptic undertones throughout it," he admits, "but I'm just a paranoid person. it was what I was assessing about at the time. The album's gothic aesthetic perfectly meshes with Corbin's theatrical voice, marking a drastic change from Corbin's older material. I guess it's the only kind of music I feel like I can make. There has to be some sort of dark undertone, or else it seems corny to me. In all, Corbin has proven that his talent and creative mind is immensely deep and thorough. The only thought that remains is, how much of him will the world get to hear and see?